What's good? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm gonna show off my Mesa build. As you can see, we don't need any weapons for this Mesa build. We will be relying entirely on peacemakers. We're gonna replace your first ability with Nourish, which, to be fair, if you do some mod Tetris, you probably don't even need Nourish. You could probably get more ability strength off of moving around, like Nira's Hatred with Equilibrium, putting Archon shards in. Same thing with Augur Seeker. It's like these two are definitely free slots. I'd say the same towards Pistol Amp, like, what's it called? Growing Power, wherever it is, here it is, probably goes further than that in terms of damage. Even, honestly, even Brief Respite probably gets more value than it, but I like it. I enjoy it. Of course, we're running Arcane Hotshot. No better way to proc it than Mesa, of course. Arcane Velocity, which is for the extra fire rate, since Mesa never needs to reload, is actually beautiful. We also see that we'll be promo-procking this, which you'll hear it, how fast she starts firing. Vigorous Swap, so every single time we enter Peacemakers, we're going to be getting our Vigorous Swap proc. And that's just extra universal damage on Peacemakers, always nice. Of course, we're positive duration to everything on our skills duration. As for the actual Peacemaker build, you'll notice that we don't actually have much survivability on Mesa, if at all. That's because we're offloading it onto Fortifier entirely, which you'll see how strong this Arcane is while playing. And it also gets rid of, I'd say, a pretty big weakness of frames that like to kill through abilities like Mesa, which is the Overguard just being eliminated right off them, melts through it, and you get survivability off of it. You could also make a case for Circumvent instead of Velocity, and you throw in like Enervate there to free up your crit slot or whatever you want on that. And then on top of that, we'll be running 3 Tau Forge Topaz Archon shards. Very high investment, but these are very good. And honestly, you really don't even need to mod Heat onto Peacemakers to proc your Tau Forge Archon shards. If you go over to, like, I have the weapon for Vazarin. We're gonna go over to Vazarin. If you put on the on Operator and Tower and Strikeout, 2.4% heat damage for secondary weapon for the duration of the mission. This means you don't even need to mod Heat onto the Peacemaker to proc it. So if you're going all the way in, this is probably something you want to do for your Mesa. To be fair, I still gotta finish farming out the Operator schools. But we'll be running Zeneric, mainly for Wellspring to get us going at the very start of the mission. So we just hit Nourish, hit this, and Mesa will have energy. Of course, yeah, I should probably move my chat actually. Of course, it's nothing too out of the ordinary. I guess max efficiency is unique, but that's just because I like to swap in and out of Peacemakers a lot. And you could also, if you really wanted to, you don't need to run Mesa's Waltz. I know like every Mesa player uses this. This mod, I kind of think is overused. I'm going to be using it for the showcase, but there's better XLS mods, man. Like, you could get a range, max energy. I know it's not a lot of max energy, but it's something. Bro, isn't a power drift too? That's an XLS, right? Yes, it is. 15% ability strength. That's also a pretty decent amount. I don't think Mesa has any notable augments, but she doesn't really need her augments to be a fantastic Warframe. And we're going to jump in and see that. Some other subzooms I think would be good on her are things like Zata's. I don't think Lore would be that phenomenal.
You are harvesting Kuba nearby. Set off the alarms to draw
In fact, I kind of think that one would be. Honestly, it just sounds disgusting, like bad disgusting. Because Zata's does what you want to do way more than that.
Or attach Kuba catalysts to begin harvesting.
Of course, we actually need an excellent comp battle. There's probably no problem with those kinds of content. Alright, I guess we can also put up our 2 and 3. Of course, that's my ability. I am not the brightest, but forgetting about those abilities, but you know, that's just how it is. Well, you see, we're already consistently orange critting. I usually use a mod that can slap on an extra health board as this definitely hits ready crit. And you'll see we just blitz through enemies, and it's like this at all levels of content. I've ran this to like level 300, and it never changes. We actually don't even have a companion. I forgot to re-equip that because I was leveling stuff earlier. But this being the raw Mesa is actually, it's both disgusting and beautiful. I love it.
Life support on the way.
Honestly, Mesa's one of those frames that never gets changed, but she always gets buffed every patch, which is lovely to see. I'm glad to see she does things like that. That's beautiful. Oh, actually, no, it looks like vigorous swap doesn't proc if you don't have a lot of weapons.
I've delivered
That's
a life
unlucky.
support capsule to the area.
My
Activating
bad,
it
gang.
will buy
I
you
probably
more
should have
time.
bragged something. Oh, I forgot to mention Mark 1 Akira for the, what's it called, Melee Kareen, so we can roll and freeze these guys, and also Amalgam Firax Body, now that I think what it's called. It gives you 45% fire rate on secondary weapons. It's worth it. All damage through that. It is a lovely utility weapon for frames like Mesa and Hildren and all these secondary warriors. And even without those frames, you can still find yourself fun. Shatter Shield again. You can still find yourself plenty of daily utility weapons for Delta frames. Like even Kratos is pretty good. Oh, my bad. I'm surprised we haven't seen an Exodus yet. Of course, we have last gas. That feels mandatory to run that at any level. Well, not any level, of course, but I'm sure you're picking up what I'm putting down. It's a lovely world. What's really interesting is I really don't think modding the specific damage types is the greatest on Mesa, other than you go all in on the like raw damage and crit damage. It's just such a beautiful frame. Oh, and don't forget the fire nation. Lethal Torrent is like a must for this frame though. Of course, you're gonna want to run that. Unfortunately, so I don't have my companion up, we're not warping up all the light support that's dropping. ATM isn't even bad, we're hitting like 100. This is just how it is. Look at that. We finally got some overguard. Our first Xmas of the mission. 3 minutes in. What the heck is main? Alright. Look at that. Just right through his health bar like butter. This frame does so much damage, man. It's so disgusting how strong she is. And of course, now we have overguard, we are finally just immortal. Although I will definitely say the hot shot thing, needing to use that for based on how expensive it is kind of a shame. You don't need hot shot, but it definitely saves you in a lot of modding and slots so much.
30-second warning.
You can see that's the time. But yeah, as soon as you run out of here. Oh my god, I like this. But as soon as you run out of your regard, super vulnerable. You really do scale well with endurance as content.
The raid is off to a successful start.
What are we hitting?
Extraction
You
is
know,
available
the KPM,
if you need it.
it isn't the greatest. That's like what, 80, 85. I'd say it's
Life support
definitely
has been
serviceable considering the
replenished.
damage output she has. Damage attenuation doesn't really affect her, considering you just fire so many bullets. Even if they're all doing 1,000 damage, you're firing like 80 bullets a second. It genuinely does not matter. Like that damage ramp up is crazy. Of course, if you had a companion, you'd be doing a lot more damage, considering you got that 1.2 times extra crit damage, and you got all the companion utilities. You got whether you want grouping or you want invisibility off shade, or you want shield restoration, you want energy generation, anything really.
They fought
Lockdown.
Well. Good dance all.
Genuinely, I don't think you could make this frame look bad. She does everything you'd ever want in terms of damage. Her survivability is pretty good. Of course, if you have Eximus spawning, I kind of got screwed in that mission of not many spawning. But in like temporal arc media, that wouldn't be an issue even remotely. And of course, I didn't bring a primary or secondary. I should show off the Firax. See, as you can see, Molten Impact is my only other mod in this thing, other than Amalgam Firax body count, 45% fire rate onto secondary weapons. Our fire rate 60 bullets a second before our passive and velocity. We fire so much. It's actually absurd. And like, just like looking at the helmets, I don't really think like Nourish does all you need. Now you don't even have to mod. Like, you could run like a armor strip, or you could just like, if you wanted to slap on corrosive, it's not full strip, but something. Damage vulnerability through here if you want. Pillage isn't bad. I just think Nourish is your best by far. Does everything you'd ever want. Webbed Embrace is kind of funny. I think this is a really slept on sub-zoom, because that damage vulnerability base is fantastic. And sure, the range isn't the greatest, but like, it's pretty alright. Alright. I appreciate you all for watching, and I hope you all have a good day.